Okay, so for example number 2, no, so if you have any question regarding on our previous examples, you may just have to ask it to me through chat, okay, through our private chat or through our um, um, PDF or manuals that I have been posted on our um, group. Okay, so FB group. So for example number 2, again, we have also given here in the same with our previous examples. We have z1 is equals to 8 plus 3i, and then z2 is equals to 9 minus 2i. Find z1 minus z2, and for letter B, find z1 over z2. So in this case, ang pinagkaiba lang, the same lang sila ng given. Ang pinagkaiba lang is in this case, ang hanapin natin, instead of the addition of the two complex number, we are finding here the difference. At the same time, we are finding the quotient, no, instead of the product. Okay, so for addition, for letter A, meron tayong step. Okay, so step number 1, use the expression again of 2. So as it being stated in our previous discussion, we have the expression is this one, x1, y2. Okay, this is mali, dapat y1 to. So x1, y1, x2, y2, and substituting the value. So x1 of the first is 8, and y1 of the first is 3. So you have 8 and 3. Here we have the first or x2 of the second is 9, and y of the second is 2, negative 2. So we have here 9 and negative 2. So minus. Okay, then after that, convert this into standard notation, which is equals to z equals to x plus y, or this one, x1 plus iy1 minus x2 plus iy2. So we have 8, no, since x1 is equals to 8 and y1 is equals to 3, so 8 plus 3i minus 9 minus 2i, no. Okay, so step number 3, we have again group the real and imaginary part, since we cannot subtract the imaginary parts from real part, no. The same with the addition, we cannot add that one, so we have just to regroup the real and imaginary. Okay, so the real of this, okay, so the real of this first is 8, and then the imaginary of this second is 9. So we have regrouping these ones, we have 8 minus 9, so we have here 8 minus 9. Okay, the same for imaginary part, we have 3, and then we have minus the negative 2, so we have in here 3 minus negative 2. Okay, so we call that one as a regrouping. Okay, so 8 minus 9 is negative 1, so this is since negative and negative, so magiging positive yan siya. So we have 3 plus 2, and then negative 1, the resulting is negative 1 plus 5i. Okay, so therefore this would be the final answer. Now for letter B naman, for the division or the quotient of the two complex number, so we have to use the expression of 3. Okay, so again, expression of 3. So we have x1 and y1. So actually, yung pinagkaiba lang, no, for your information or for your notification, we have, ang pinagkaiba nga lang actually ni expression number 2 at saka ni expression number 3 is that sa expression number 2, expression number 2 at saka ni notation, standard notation sa expression number 2 is wala siyang I. Si standard notation is may I na siya. The same with expression number 3 sa standard notation. Just the expression number 3 for division wala siyang I. Then for standard notation is meron na siyang I. Okay? So yun lang. Or ito siya, yung standard notation, yung expression number 2 at saka 3, we call that one as a coordinate expression, no. So it is being expressed into coordinates, no, not in rectangular form, so without I. Okay, so yun. So in this case, z1 over z2 is equals to x1 y1 over x2 y2. So the standard, or in order for us to divide or to have the quotient of this one, we have this standard formula. Okay, so makikita nyo ito siya sa manuals ninyo. We have x1 x2 plus y1 y2 over x2 squared plus y2 squared. This is for real, and then for imaginary we have x2 y1 minus x1 y2 over x2 squared plus y2 squared. Okay, this is for imaginary. Okay, so step number 2, convert again this one into a standard notation. We have z is equals to x plus y, x plus iy. So we have in here, instead na x1 and y1, magiging x1 plus i y1 over x2 plus iy2. And then in this case naman, ang igagawin lang natin dito is i-add lang natin to siya, tapos lalagyan natin ng I. Okay, so yun lang yung standard notation. Okay, So now, since given naman yung x1 natin at saka y1 natin at saka x2 and y2, so all we have to do is to substitute it here, and then performing the multiplication, addition, and division, so we can now derive the final value of our division, or the quotient of the two complex number we have here, 66 over 85 plus I, 43 over 85. No? So this would be the final answer. Okay. Now, no, if I'm not mistaken, you are already familiar with from your algebra, you are already familiar with simplifying the fraction, okay, by taking the square root, no? Simplifying the fraction of simplifying the fraction of a radical by taking the square root. So actually the same yan siya dito sa complex number. Okay, pwede mo ring i-simplify yung division ng dalawang numbers by squaring, okay, or by multiplying the fraction, okay. For example, this one, itong 8 plus 3i over 9 minus 2i, then you can multiply this one by the complex, no, pinakaiba, the conjugate. Ang pinakaiba nga lang is conjugate dito, no. So you have 9 plus 2i over 9 plus 2i. So just multiply it, ito siya, then apply the multiplication, so you can now derive this final answer. Okay, just perform this one. Yun to yung minimin dito sa note na to. Check the division by multiplying 9 plus 2i to the numerator and denominator. Ito. Okay?